What motivates change? I will use examples from Persepolis, Of Mice and Men, Alpha Woman, Beta Men, and Andrew McCutcheon's life. Early on in Persepolis, it is apparent that women had no rights in Iran. On page 1, Marjane writes, "The year it became obligatory to wear the veil at school. Women in Iran were required to wear veils in public while men were not. This led to revolt and the people started demonstrating partially because of gender inequality. The people were upset and frustrated by this requirement, so it motivated them to revolt against the government." Another example of gender inequality that motivated people to make changes is when Marjane was stopped by the Guardians of the Revolution. On page 132, Marjane says, "They were Guardians of the Revolution, the women's branch. This group had been added in 1982 to arrest women who were improperly veiled, like me, for example." Marjane did not agree with wearing the veil, which motivated her to rebel and go against the rules instead of following them. She determines to fight for her cause as soon as she was required to wear the veil by always refusing to wear it. On page 14 in Of Mice and Men, Lenny talks about his future aspirations. He says, "Someday we're going to get the jack together and we're going to have a little house and a couple of acres and a cow and some pigs." Lenny is motivated to create a better life because that is what he's always wanted. It is always a dream of his that was repeated throughout the story. There wasn't a specific point in his life that he decided he wanted a small house with lots of land, but had always wanted that dream. In the Alpha Woman, Beta Men article, women are starting to become equal with the men in the workforce. Ralph Gardner writes, "Well into feminism's second generation, there are finally a significant number of women reaching parity with the men in their fields. Women are becoming more of a factor in the workforce. This is because they were motivated to have the same rights as men to work whatever job they want, which led to more women making incomes. This has always been a cause that women have been fighting for many years." My final example is Andrew McCutcheon's life. He grew up with only a mom in a small trailer home with very little money. He worked really hard at baseball and is now playing in the major leagues. McCutcheon was motivated to create a better situation for both him and his mom. Andrew McCutcheon is now a Major League All-Star, and his motivation led to his life changing to a much more enjoyable experience. Once again, he was always determined to fight for his cause because his dream, since he was 4 years old, was to play in the big leagues, and his motivation got him there. In conclusion, what motivates change is a person's internal self telling them that something isn't right and to do what they believe in. We should always believe a cause is worth fighting for as long as we believe it.